Hi, my name is Michelle. I'm a cosmetologist, and today we're talking about Rogaine versus Zenagen Revolve and what's going to work best for your hair loss. Now, if you're one of the many who has noticed hair in the drain, more hair in your brush when you're brushing out your hair, or even if you're styling it, more hairs are coming out. It's a really common issue, and it kind of sneaks up on you. You don't even realize. And for some of us who are, in our 20s or 30s experiencing this, it can come as quite a shock. So because it is such a common issue that people experience, I do have several clients or, even family and friends who have asked me my thoughts about Rogaine or Zenagen Revolve. So today we're really going to break those down, talk about the differences, what they do, what they don't, and talk about what you can realistically expect if you use one of these products. Okay, before we jump into that comparison though, it's important to understand why your hair is thinning. And it could be due to a number of different issues. It could be genetics, it could be hormonal imbalance, it could be illness, stress, you could have a scalp condition, scalp inflammation, poor nutrition. There's a number of different reasons. And it's important to understand why so that you can better address your specific issue. Hair loss isn't really a one-size-fits-all. You can't just go out and take the first supplement or use the first product you come across, because without really understanding why your thinning hair is occurring, you can't really address the root issue. Okay, let's get into it. So first off, we're going to talk about Zenagen. And if you don't know the backstory real quick, it was developed by somebody named Jared Reynolds. He was a medical student at the time he started to experience early hair thinning and was kind of unimpressed by the options available. So he decided to go a route that was less pharmaceutical. His formulas were based on science and high quality botanicals. And the philosophy with Zenagen really is centered around scalp health. The idea is that in order to create sustainable, healthy hair growth, your scalp itself needs to be healthy first. So Zenagen aims to provide the scalp with necessary nutrients to help reduce unnecessary thinning, to support and strengthen hair follicles and hair strands, and just to create an overall healthier looking hair. And the way that they do this is, again, those really great botanicals, those natural ingredients, and we're going to kind of discuss a few of those and why they're so great. Some of the key ingredients in Zenagen are things like green tea extract, which is great for softening the hair and reducing breakage. Things like saw palmetto, which is a natural inhibitor of DHT, which, if you have learned about hair loss or hair thinning, an overproduction of the hormone called DHT can actually lead to hair thinning, and that's because it shrinks the hair follicles. So if you're having an overproduction of that, saw palmetto is great for that. It has things like red clover, which encourages scalp renewal, aloe, which is one of my favorite ingredients because it's a very subtle way to moisturize your hair without making it feel weighed down. When you're experiencing hair loss or hair thinning, the last thing you want is something that's going to weigh your hair down. And then also things like alpine willow herb, which is going to be for reducing inflammation or irritation. Also, lavender and chamomile are also great for that, like calming the scalp and helping it feel less inflamed. Okay, now that we've kind of discussed what Zenagen is, I want to talk about a few things to keep in mind if you're considering this option. The main thing is to understand that in order for this product to really work for you and to get the most out of your money, you have to commit to let the product sit on your scalp. Specifically the shampoo, it says to let it sit for about 5 minutes, and you want to do this at least a couple of times a week to really get results. I have found that it's not super hard. I've just kind of rearranged my shower routine, I suppose, to do other things like shave or wash my face while it's sitting on my scalp. So it hasn't been a huge issue for me, but I do know that for some people that feels like a long time. The other thing I want to discuss is that, like with any new hair product or product that you're applying to your skin or scalp, you just kind of want to watch after the first few uses to make sure that your body is responding well. You're not breaking out in rash or irritation, no redness on the scalp. Because their product is so natural, it really doesn't commonly have any issues. I have never had issues with their products, but just something to keep in mind. Okay, next up, Rogaine. It is one of the most widely recognized hair loss solutions, and its active ingredient, minoxidil, was actually originally created as a blood circulation medication, and doctors started to recognize and realize that their patients were growing more hair. So now it is a FDA-approved topical solution for things like alopecia, or androgenetic alopecia specifically, which is a common hereditary form of hair loss. And it's one of the only things that can truly address that issue. Rogaine comes in two different forms, a liquid form and a foam form. Both are for the scalp, so you apply it directly to the scalp. There are two options in strength, a 2% and a 5%. And based on all of the research, I've watched multiple videos from dermatologists and doctors that state that oftentimes the 2% is just not super effective. It's commonly known that 2% is for women, and 5% is for men. But based on the research, again, that I've done, 5% is generally what they recommend to everybody. It's not bad for women to use 5%. So obviously talk to your dermatologist before you use anything new like this. It is still considered a medication or a drug. So especially if you're pregnant, nursing, talk to your doctor before using it. But again, everything that I've seen, the most effective way to get results is to use the 5%. So minoxidil works by increasing the blood flow to your scalp. It's ideally supposed to prolong the anagen phase of your hair, which is the growth phase of the hair. It's also intended to kind of reactivate less active follicles and slow the progress of hereditary hair loss. If you are really considering Rogaine, here are a few things that I would keep in mind. First of all, it is considered a medication, so talk to your doctor before using. If you're taking any other medications, you want to make sure that it's not going to interact negatively and that it's just a safe option for you. Knowing your health background, your doctor would be able to make that recommendation. Secondly, it is very lethal and toxic to pets, specifically cats. So before you go and snuggle your pet, make sure your product is completely dry. They say at least 2 hours. And it is something that you're going to be using once a day for sure. Twice a day is best option. So if you do have a pet, that is something to really consider for their safety. And then I also wanted to talk about something called the dread shed. And if you have researched Rogaine at all, this is a really common thing talked about. Essentially what this means is that within the first 2 to 4 weeks and even up to 4 months for some people, you will actually experience an increase and an uptake in your hair shedding. And the reason behind this is because as the minoxidil works and it's expanding and activating hair follicles, that expansion of the follicle actually drops the previous hair because it's too small now, and it's also making room for that new growth. So if you want to use this product, keep that in mind because you really have to use it past that point to see the results expected. So it is part of, the product. It's what's supposed to happen, but it does freak some people out. So keep that in mind. And then lastly, obviously it is a topical product intended to grow hair. So you really want to be cautious of where that's getting. You don't want to go crazy as you're applying it to your hair and have it drip onto your face and start to grow hair on your face because it will. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, so let's talk pros and cons. The pros of Zenagen are that it is a natural, safe way to improve your scalp health. It helps to reduce hair thinning and hair shedding. It helps to improve the overall quality of your hair. There are no drug side effects, and it's safe for long-term use. The cons, as I see it, are that it's not an overnight cure, but honestly, there isn't one when it comes to hair loss or hair thinning. It's kind of like a slow burn. You really have to use this product for at least 6 months to start to see the improvements in your hair and your scalp. It also takes consistency. You have to be willing to use it at least a couple of times a week and actually let it sit on your scalp. And then lastly, it's not for excessive shedding or balding. So it's really just for mild to moderate hair thinning. If you're experiencing large bald patches, really advanced hair loss, this is not something that's going to help with that. Okay, Rogaine pros. It's widely available. It's FDA approved. It's been proven to work on hereditary hair loss, and it is great for stimulating regrowth in hair. Okay, and then the cons. Some people report scalp irritation with Rogaine. And the reason is because it's alcohol-based, which often dries out the scalp, which creates some itchiness or irritation. So something to keep in mind, if you are going to use that, you might need to also use something to condition your scalp to kind of counteract that. It is a medication, so you have to consider possible side effects or contraindications with current medication you're taking. And then lastly, it is a lifelong commitment. Rogaine only works as long as you're using it. Once you stop, essentially your hair is going to shed hair to the point where it would catch up to where you'd be at if you had never used it in the first place. It's not going to increase your hair shedding, just again, that catch up to where you would have been before. Okay, so now I want to talk about what to realistically expect from these products and the timelines. So within the first couple of weeks using Zenagen, you're mostly going to notice the effect it has on your scalp. Your scalp is going to feel healthy, not overly oily. It doesn't dry out the scalp. And you're going to notice that your hair just styles a little easier just because of the great ingredients in the shampoo and conditioner. Where you start to really see the effects of the reduction in hair shedding and new growth is not until probably month 3 to 6. You really want to give this product time. It's really about patience and consistency to see the results. So again, by about month 6 is when most people see that new regrowth and see what this product really does for them. And timeline for Rogaine. So those first 2 to 4 weeks is when you're going to notice that uptake of hair shedding, which is completely normal for the product. And most people report that it's only 2 to 4 weeks, but some people have reported that it has lasted even up to 4 months. So just keep that in mind. It's all part of the process if you decide to use Rogaine. And then from months 4 to 6 is really when you're going to see that reduced hair shedding and start to see some visible hair growing in and see the product working for you. So you really have to give these products up to 6 months to see results. And then obviously beyond that, you're going to just see them compound and build upon each other. Hair takes a lot of time to grow, as we know. So if you really want to see results, you're looking at a commitment of at least 6 months and then beyond. If you're impressed and happy with the results you're seeing, you're obviously going to keep using it. Now I want to address who I would recommend these to. So Zenagen I would recommend to anybody who values a more holistic or natural approach. Anybody who has mild to moderate hair thinning that wants a product to help reduce those. Anyone with normal scalp issues, meaning maybe an overproduction of oil, or they just feel like it's dry or itchy and it's not like some crazy irritation, right? Just pretty normal scalp concerns. And then anybody who just needs help with their overall hair appearance and wants something that's going to support that naturally. I would recommend Rogaine for anybody who has hereditary hair loss and really wants to prioritize new growth, who prioritizes products that are FDA approved, who is okay with long-term medication, and is okay with, discussing with their dermatologist or doctor any concerns they might have with current medications that they're taking that might have an effect with this product. I've also had the question, can they be used together? And the answer is yes in most cases. Often dermatologists, if they're recommending you use minoxidil, which is the active ingredient in Rogaine, they're going to recommend a healthy scalp routine as well. So pairing it with products like Zenagen that focus on that through, shampoo, conditioners, and even scalp serums is a great way to combine them, but you don't obviously have to.